Here we have defined the function f of xy, where I is in the range of x and j is in the range of y. We are printing the multiplication of I and j. And then for the new nested list, we are printing it on the new line. In the print function, enter the size of the nested list. From the user, we are taking the value of x and y, where x is the value of the inner list and y is the value of the outer list. And we are printing it in the form of a matrix function. To execute this function, if we pass the value 5 into 5, we are getting this nested list in the form of a matrix, printed in the form of a matrix. In this function f of xy, I is in the range of x, j is in the range of y. If I is equal to 0, we are changing the value of, we are adding 1 to the value of I and assigning it to variable a. If I is not equal to 0, then whatever the value of I will be assigned to variable a. Similarly, for the variable j, here we are take a mod b. If it's equal to 1, we are printing 0. Else, if the value of a mod b is equal to 0, we'll be printing 1. Okay. So here we are taking the values of the inner list into the variable x and the outer list in the variable y. And here we are calling function f of xy. The values will be assigned to this variables will be passed on this function, and this function will be called from here and executed. To execute this function, let's execute 3. This is the result of our function. In this function, we are taking a nested list as an input parameter for this function. So in the for loop, I1 is the variable which is traversing the list, sum list. I2 is the variable which is traversing the inner list, which is inside the sum list. We are getting the position of each variable in the sum list, which is a nested list, and getting that value in the variable value. If that value is equal to 1, we are printing the value, the position of that value, of value 1. So here we have the list, nested list. This, we are passing that list to function f and printing the value of position 1 in this list. So the first position is, this is the 0th list and the 0th position. So that's why the first position is 0, 0. In the second position over here, this is the outer 0, and this will be the first one. And inside the first one, this is 0, 1, 2. This is 0, this is 1, 2, which is the location of this one. And similarly for the third one. In this function, we are calculating the surface area of the sphere for the given radius. So the radius is given to this function, which is calculated using this formula 4 into 3.14 into r raised to 2. And the result of the function will be printed using the print function. From the user, we are taking the radius for the sphere in meters. So the radius is a float variable, and that radius we are passing to the function area, and this function will be called. So to execute this function, if we pass the value of the radius as 5, the surface area of sphere for a radius 5 is 3.14 meters square.